Hey Wade, how you going, brother?
Good, man. How about you?
Yeah, good, man. Good for a hot, stinky Gold Coast morning. It's our summer, well, almost our summer here. What about you? Is it nighttime, chilling at home?
The cold. Uh, it's a cold Thursday evening.
Ah, man. Oh well, we'll send some your way. But dude, hey, thanks for hanging out on the show. It's been really cool chatting to you.
My pleasure.
Who's your friend in the background before we get started?
Well, that's a 15-foot Home Depot skeleton that I
I love it.
brought inside when Halloween was over.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
yeah, yeah. We need more skeletons in the home, I think. I think more homes need.
No, I mean it says for outdoor use, but it doesn't say only.
No, see,
No, so no.
you got the right plan. But
Yeah.
man, pretty damn excited that you're coming back to Australia in March with Underoath and Gel. Man, you've been here so many times that I'm pretty sure they should just make you Australian citizens by now.
Feels like feels like it, you know?
Yeah. Like when you walk in that gate, they should just not even look at your passport. They just go, "Oh, it's the Canadian boys," and they just hand you a six pack, a sausage roll, and some Tim Tams. Give you a little pat on the bum, and off you go. You could just walk in whenever you want.
You know, it is always a very warm welcome though, to be honest. And as far as getting through the border as a band and a guy with a tattooed face, Australia's pretty chill. So I'm not sweating it.
Oh, well, we love you down here. I mean, we've been seeing you for like, as I said, 20 years was the first time I saw you. Me and my wife saw you in Brisbane, and that was your first time here, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, does it surprise you that over the years you've just kept coming back and it's getting bigger and bigger each time you come back?
I mean, it hasn't surprised me that we've come back because it's the best and we love touring there. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's been a very cool thing. Like from the first trip, it's been like this like steady, like the shows get a little bit bigger, a little
Mm.
bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And I mean, that's an incredible thing, you know, and it's just nice too, like the way the tours usually work. Like there's kind of like, you know, it's like usually spread out, like kind of, so we get some time, like time to spend in the country, and it's always good. And I'm glad we keep doing it.
Last time you did a little trek on a motorbike, right? You took some time.
Yeah, Harley Australia was kind enough to give me a bike, and I did the like most, I guess, just like scenic route possible from like Melbourne to Sydney. Like I turned it into almost like 2,300 kilometers. Like, and it was amazing. And yeah, like got to like I linked up with some like chopper builders to um like Rod Mangles and in Melbourne, and Matt South up in the Gold Coast, and like so I got to ride some like really crusty old bikes too with those dudes, and they definitely took me on some spots like I hadn't been on. So I saw a ton of the country last time, which was like really, really special. And the weather's going to be nice this time. So I'm going to try and like our bass player Chris rides too. So I think we might like stick around afterwards and like really do a big trip.
Oh man, that would just be unreal.
Yeah.
Because it's such a, I mean, you seem to do it everywhere. Like I've been seeing your adventures, in
Yeah.
America.
I mean, I pretty much try and ride like whenever I can.
Yeah.
And like especially the kind of like community that surrounds guys that like crusty bikes that were built in the 60s is I don't know. I guess it's like a logical thing. Like I think it's like just like you meet like you kind of your people wherever, right?
Yes.
Like I
Yeah.
feel like those dudes like we kind of all got we all kind of like figured out we bought the Dead Kennedys like bedtime for democracy record around the same age, and we were skateboarding at the same age, and And it's like, and now we're at Choppers. So so yeah, it's like it's I'm like been lucky to like meet a bunch of dudes that like the people that kind of like a lot of the builders like travel the world a lot. So meeting people at bike shows in California and then like getting to ride with them in Australia is a nice way to see the country.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the Underoath guys, you've probably done heaps of stuff with those
Yeah,
boys.
we played with them a bunch over the years. Like we played a festival with them a couple years ago. But like I looked it up, the last time we like did a tour with them was 20 years ago.
Wow.
We did a tour with like them and the Used. That was like America and the States. And that was 20 years ago. But we played with Underoath like even before then. Like we probably played with Underoath in like 2002. So we've like been doing shows with those dudes for like quite a long time, which is very, very cool. And um just like nice to see that there's like we're both like in a spot where
Hmm.
we are. I don't know, it's nice. Like to just like to like be here at this point and like coming back to Australia and playing with them and it's cool. It's like it's a real trip to see like I don't know, music and culture like cycle like it does,
Hmm.
So I feel like hopefully this is like an opportunity for even like a lot of people that like have recently become aware of this stuff that
Hmm.
are like very young to like see it, which is a crazy place to be at in the kind of like life of a band. But I guess it happens if you just don't die.
But like when I first saw you, my eldest daughter was 4. Now she's old enough I can bring her to, because we used to drive around like Alexis on Fire for my wife and I especially. We bonded over that your band for years. You know what I mean? And
No,
it
it's amazing. Like, I mean, there's like these, like we've certainly seen that. Like, it's like people with their like, but even like with like young kids, like down at the front of the barricade and stuff like that. And like, so it's like families coming out and it's just a cool, like, I guess all that stuff of like, if you can just like keep playing and like keep pushing forward, that type of stuff happens. Like, I mean, even to kind of what I was speaking on before, like in just like people becoming aware of stuff, like
yeah.
as like music and culture shifts, like the first time I probably saw Motorhead play, like I would have been 21 or something. And at that point, they'd probably been a band for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I
Yeah, yeah.
saw them a ton for 20 years, which is like, so yeah, it's like it's a wild thing that like I guess like as you said, like it can be a family event. Or it
Yes,
can be like at this point of our career, it can be like someone's first gig or all these different things that I don't know, make it like infinitely interesting to get up on stage.
absolutely, man. And it's all thanks to look at this. This album, 20 years this year, brother. 20
Crazy.
years. Man. Old Crow's turned 10 too, but I haven't got that on one yet. But man, what a fucking record. I mean, that album just kicked open doors. It must have been such a crazy time in your life when that dropped and everything just happened.
I mean, it's kind of hard to step back from it when you're in it,
Hmm.
because we're just like we were touring like a lot. We were writing the songs, like just like playing my guitar, sitting on my amp backstage or whatever we were doing, or in the van, like or goofing around if we ever got a sound check, which we weren't really sound checking at that point. There was no sound checks. Um, but and then came home for like a couple of weeks and recorded that record, and then went out on tour again. So it's kind of like it never really stopped. It's almost like the start of the band until like the end of the touring cycle for Crisis
Hmm.
is just like one solid thing of like being on tour, taking a small amount of time to like write and record. And like we recorded, we like probably like, we're having band practices here and there, but like we recorded Watch Out in a couple, like 2 weeks. We toured a ton more. We recorded Crisis in 2 weeks, and then like toured a ton more. So it just kind of like, I don't know. It's just a chaotic 12 years.
It's just
10 years. We caught our breaths before we made Old Crows, but
yeah,
the first three are just like, yeah.
hit the ground running. It was crazy, crazy time. But of course, Otherness is great record as well, man. Like,
I'm very fond of it. Thank you.
man, I love that record. It's very different as well. Is that where we can expect to see you guys go musically from here? Is it
I mean, we can kind of talk about what we want to do, and we have like about the things we'd like to try and go after, but what's going to happen is kind of what's going to happen. I think before we made Otherness, like I probably would have been, I was like, I don't know what Alexisonfire sounds like at this point. Like, there'd been so long since we'd written anything and recorded anything. And I think there's a certain element that is just like, we sound the way we do when with the five of us play together. There's a certain thing that's very just like inherently us. And then I think what happened on Otherness is like we kind of shed a lot of the old ideas of like, we can't do that. Like, we're not that band. We can't do that. Like, we put a lot of that to bed.
Mm.
So I think like the future is like really unwritten as far as that stuff. Like, I think we could do whatever. And that doesn't mean we're gonna like make a pop record, but like, I don't know. Like, I think we're as likely to make something that sounds like Massive Attack as we are likely to try and make something that sounds like Napalm Death.
Yes,
Like, which is a nice place to be.
absolutely. And I love Napalm Death. So
Best. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I think we've got a bunch of songs, and yeah, hopefully we can hunker down and start working and everything out soon.
man,
And I don't know what it's gonna sound like.
that's exciting. That's exciting. But I mean, even with Doom's Children, I love that as well. You could do anything you want with that. Like you even last year released a sound. It seemed like a soundtrack for a horror movie or something. It's
On my
experimental.
Halloween Trick or Treat album.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
It's good.
It must be a really cool place to be in where you're musically free like that. You've freed yourself from any boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I've done like enough, I think, between like, like the various records with various bands and like making music for films and producing other people's records that I would hope at this point people are like not surprised by like whatever happens. And they're just like, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Nothing. Yeah, there's no expectation. It's exciting to see what you come up with next. But man, what's 2025 look like for you past the tour?
Alexis is going to get out on the road. Um, at the beginning of the year, I'm uh, playing guitar for my friend's band that I don't know. They haven't announced it yet, but playing guitar for a band we've played with a
Ah,
bunch of years um, before I come to Australia. So I'll be out on the road with legendary post-hardcore band blank, and then I'll be
hey.
hitting um, and then I come over to Australia with Alexis, and then yeah, a bunch more shit.
All right, man. Blank, hey.
Yeah,
All right, keep your secret. But man, hey, it's been really cool hanging out with you. I can't wait to see you here in Brisbane, as always. Make it
can't
work,
wait.
man. And hopefully you get down to Gold Coast.
I will definitely be there.
Excellent, excellent, man. But we'll have all the links down here, show notes. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope it gets warm and take care, brother.
See ya. Bye.